After the high in Cuttack, the Indian team has been brought down to earth in the T20 series by South Africa in Chandigarh. That game, the first game, India won by 101 runs. This game, South Africa has won by 51 runs. So both convincing win, and that has put this 5-match T20 series at 1-all. Let's first compliment the South African team. They were clearly the better team. And their performers, I'm not surprised they stepped up today. Why is that? We're just a few days away from an IPL auction. Many South African players are going to be in that auction. And it's not the first time. Every time before the auction, any overseas team comes to India, those players tend to perform well. All want a big payday. Not surprised at all. Quinton de Kock, highest run getter. David Miller chipping in with a cameo. Bartman having a great time with the ball. Lungi Ngidi having a decent time with the ball. All of them will be in auction. So South Africa really stepping up does not surprise me at all. As for India, the loss isn't a loss that, I need to pull my hair out for. Why? Because India in T20 cricket has been very good. They've won every other series. This is an unpredictable format. You will lose a few games. Who knows, they would go on to win this series as well, as they've been doing for the last year and a half, winning all series. So this loss is not of concern. However, there were a few areas that were of concern, and that is what we're going to address in our match report. Firstly, lack of discipline from the Indian bowlers. You had South Africa leak just 5 runs in extra. India ended up leaking 22 runs in extra. Lots of wides. Arshdeep, in fact, bowled 7 wides in just 1 over. Just sums up how indisciplined India's bowling performance was. But more than that, India conceding 213 runs wasn't just down to some very good batting by South Africa, also some poor bowling by India. And why do I say that? Take a look at the lengths with which the South African bowlers bowled and the lengths with which the Indian bowlers bowled. There was a lot of dew in the entire match. So even though India had won the toss bowling first, still there was a lot of dew. But what did India do? They tried to pitch the ball up. They went with the age-old formula of pitching the ball up. They were trying to search the Yorkers. What did the South African bowlers do? They bowled short of lengths. And under the circumstances, in those conditions where there was a bit of dew, I think short of length is the right way to go about. Because if you err a little bit in your length, you're not going to be hurting that much. The batsman will still find it tough. But if you're going for your Yorkers, you err in your length a little bit, which can happen with a wet ball, then you're giving them half volleys to go. So I think strategically, South African bowlers came up with a much better plan compared to the Indian bowlers. So indiscipline was their problem, and lack of good plans was the problem with this Indian team compared to South Africa. And that was also the reason why you've seen the result. But then 3 big problems in the Indian batting. The first one I have to highlight is the constant chopping and changing of the batting order. I know the Indian team has come out and said that in T20 cricket batting order doesn't count, but I'm afraid while that may still be a strategy that might work going forward, maybe that is the future of T20 cricket, but you also have to be mindful of which batter is batting where. Let's take today's example. You're pushing in Akshar Patel to bat at 4. I know it's worked. I was there in Barbados where it worked in the final of the World Cup, but it can't work every time. And you also have to be mindful of the situation. I think Akshar can do a containing job. He's a very good batter, very able batter. But maybe when you've lost a few quick wickets and you need to consolidate and you're choosing a below par or a par total, it makes sense. He'll come and stabilize the thing and elongate your batting order to allow your more established batters to come and finish the innings. But when you're chasing upwards of 200, where you have to be aggressive throughout, you can't afford any period of run-a-ball sort of cricket in that situation. And so you needed a Tilak Verma to be batting there. He's more explosive. You need Shivam Dube to be batting there. You need explosiveness right throughout. So I think Akshar Patel once in a while is fine. You can use it as a variation to come up. You can't do it all the time, and today was clearly not the time. So again, badly goofed up by the Indian team, the timing of when to send Akshar Patel. That takes me to the other batter, shuffling of batting order. Shivam Dube batting at 8. Now I'm convinced, seeing them in the last 2 games, that they're trying to make Shivam Dube as the finisher. Rinku Singh is not part of this team. They're trying to make him as a finisher alongside Jitesh. I'm afraid, again, a bad strategy. Why? Just take a look at what Shivam Dube has been doing. Shivam Dube's best time has come when he's batted in the top order for Chennai Super Kings. His best time has come in Indian colours when he's batted in the top order. He's your number 4. The lowest you can bat him is number 5. Why? He's very good against spinners. That's the phase that he has to bat in. If you're going to bring him at the death against fast bowling, I think you're not really optimizing him in the way that he can be. That utilization is not being optimized. And this is the problem in the batting order. I think something that needs fixing there. Then the 2 elephants in the room, people are going to talk about. Shubman Gill got out for a duck today. I don't think this duck is the reason why we need to be critical of Shubman Gill. If there was a Sanju Samson playing or a Yashasvi Jaiswal playing, they can also get out for a duck. That's not the problem. In T20 cricket, you'll get out on ducks. That's fine. I think consistency has been a problem. And with Shubman Gill, ever since he's come back into the T20 fold, you're trying to make him as an opener. He's had below average numbers. You're just 8 matches to go for your T20 World Cup. Can you continue to go with an opener who you're still trying to make a T20 opener and be a good enough T20 opener? I think that's a risky strategy. You already have ready-made T20I openers who can bat in the manner in which you want. That is aggressive kind of batting in a Yashasvi Jaiswal. You had a Sanju Samson also do that job. You already have ready-made T20I openers suited to the current environment in which you like to play T20 cricket. I think it is time for you to look at that. And as I said, it's not because you got a 0 today. Anyone can get a 0. But I think it's a string of low performances, and also the runs coming at 140 out of strike rate for an opener in the current scenario where you'll have to be chasing 200 plus or putting up 250 runs on most occasions when you play the World Cup. Is he the right man for the job? I'm afraid not. But will the Indian team have the courage to now change that? That is something that we'll have to wait and watch. To Suryakumar Yadav, he's also had a string of low performances. I was seeing some stats, some 21 odd innings he's gone without getting a 50. That's worrisome as well. But I think that's one area where I will not be tempted to change anything. Again, 8 matches to go for the T20 World Cup. He's my captain. Under him for the last year and a half, we've not lost a series. I'll stick with him, hoping that he gets back into form. I think he needs to bat at 4. It'll be sorted out. He needs a good knock here and there to get back into form. Anyway, just changing the captain so close to the tournament will just send panic waves across the team. I don't want that at this stage. So I'll still keep him, maybe change a few things, maybe allow him to get some time, get some runs under his belt, take it from there. He's a good enough batter. I remember the last IPL, he had an outstanding IPL. So it's not too far back that he was getting runs for the team. I think he's still good enough to do that. So I'll be patient with him. But this would be the series where he would want to get into form ahead of that T20 World Cup. That's the report from the game that happened in New Chandigarh. Next up is going to be Dharamshala, much more cold than what we saw, the cold condition in Chandigarh. We'll get back with all the latest from that game as well. For the moment, give us a like on the video. If you're enjoying our content, share this video with your other cricket friends or in your WhatsApp groups where they discuss cricket. Maybe they can chip in with their thought or two. And as always, don't forget to subscribe to Sports Today. Nikhil Naz, signing off.